All right, we're going to speed run free agency and trades and all this stuff. It's July 1st. Everyone's doing a live stream. Probably be easier to do it a live stream way, but no one's going to watch my video, so who gives a shit? No, but all jokes aside, let's get right into it. Speed run. This isn't going to be a deep analysis. I'm going to make one-off videos for those. Not every single one, because there's so much movement that happened, but I'm probably going to be uploading like at least a few videos a day for the next week or so. So, we'll start off here. I'm kind of catching up with the times. Washington Capitals have acquired forward Justin Sourdiff from the Florida Panthers, Washington's second-round pick in 2026, and their sixth-round pick in 2027. Here's Sourdiff's stats. He's a productive player. He was picked in the third round by the Florida Panthers. He's done adequately there with the Charlotte Checkers. Maybe he's a guy that the Washington Capitals feel like they can get more out of and be a quality bottom six guy. But overall, I don't mind this trade. I think that, Florida gets more draft capital. Capitals apparently see somebody they really like there. Connor Garland extension in Vancouver could be 6 years, $36 million. We'll kind of wait and see with that. We're going down the timeline. This was kind of a big move here. Noah Dobson, I'll go into him, and then I'll go into Trent Frederic. Actually, no, I'll go with Trent Frederic first. Screw it. 8 years, $4 million per year for Trent Frederic. I don't think that's horrible cap hit, I guess, but 8 years for a bottom six guy? I don't know what they're smoking in Edmonton. I don't think you need to give a guy like Trent Frederic 8 years. I just don't, because you don't know when he'll fall off the wagon. And Frederic is maddeningly inconsistent as a player. It gets frustrating, and I'm speaking that from experience watching him so many years. He's young, so the 8 years isn't horrible in that aspect, but just to tie up a bottom six guy for 8 years, I don't know, man. That doesn't make much freaking sense. John Tavares, standing in Toronto, 4 years, $4.38 million. He wasn't going to make 10 plus million like he was. He's a good player. John Tavares, he's slowed down a little bit. He's lost some of his foot speed, but he's still a quality NHL center, and you need that. And if you get his cap hit down, bring in some more talent. I just made a video on it, so I'll speak about it. The Mitch Marner trade to the Vegas Golden Knights, the sign-in trade. Marner is super talented, great player, but I think with Toronto, it would have just been the definition of insanity, trying the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. They wanted to kind of change things up, shake it up. I think it would have been a mistake if they paid him the rumor $13.5 million they offered him. As for Tavares, for a cheaper deal, he's still a quality NHL center. Noah Dobson is being traded to the Montreal Canadiens, signing an 8-year, $9.5 million extension with the Habs. The return includes Emil Heineman and both of Montreal's first-round picks tonight. So, obviously, this happened draft. I'm catching up. I think Noah Dobson is a terrific defenseman. With what the Canadiens are building and how much young talent that they have and just more of the guys they have in the pipeline, you bring in a guy that can be a minute eater on the back end, who's been a very good defenseman for a long time. It just makes sense. Youth and talent is great, but you do need some experience with that talent. Dobson could maybe be a little bit more of that mature, calming presence in the room. I think Dobson was very good with the Islanders. I genuinely do like that move for the Habs. I do. Charlie Coyle and Miles Wood traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets from the Colorado Avalanche. The exchange was a second in 2027, a third this year, and Gavin Brindley. Charlie Coyle apparently rumored some friction between him and McKinnon. I don't know how big that is, how not big that is. And Miles Wood, he's a nice little player to have, so that kind of sucks, for him to go. But with Landeskog coming back, there's going to have to be some type of moves there to kind of open up space. The Buffalo Sabres signed Jack Quinn to a 2-year contract with an AAV of 3.375. If he hits on his promise, that could be a good deal. Stays healthy, kind of fulfills what he should be. I'm not mad at that one. I think that kind of makes sense. He's a young player. You're hoping kind of gets more. Obviously, the Florida Panthers retained a lot of talent during this, before, I should say, free agency and even during it. 8 years, $8 million for Sam Bennett. He's a great player to have. The cap going up kind of helps them retain a lot of their talent. Sam Bennett is a great center to have. And while he has the reputation of being a rat and people hating to play against him, Sam Bennett is just so damn good. Most teams would just absolutely love to have him on their roster. So Florida's just looking to go back to back to back. So that's a great move. Obviously, the first overall pick, Matthew Schaefer. I'm going to make a draft video separate of all of this. He was the guy in that draft, so it made sense. It's funny because he missed pretty much the whole season. But it was, I mean, he was the guy, let's be honest. So I think that's a great pick for the Islanders. And kind of going a little bit up here, apologize. Kevin Bahl signed a 6-year contract worth an annual AAV, or should I say AAV of $5.35 million. I mean, he's okay. I mean, solid guy. Flames are trying to, bring in some steadying presence. I actually like AFP's analytics. This is actually pretty interesting right here. I should definitely look it up. So he's a really good defenseman. And cap hit's not terrible at all. And I'm sorry, I'm just kind of going up here. Jordan Spence to Ottawa, 67th pick this year for 6th in 2026 as well. Anaheim is trading John Gibson to Detroit. The return is Peter Mrazek and 2 picks. So this one I will most likely do a video on. It's interesting because Gibson had... I'm actually going to even, make sure I'm right on this. I think he had a pretty damn good year last year, if I remember correctly. Sorry, it's been such a roller coaster ride for me. But he had a pretty good year last year. If I remember, he kind of had like a nice little resurgence. He's 31 years old. Scroll down. Yeah, he had a good year. 912 save percentage. I mean, a couple years before that, obviously. I mean, he's had a dip in production. But I want to be fair to Gibson. It's not like the Ducks were a great team, right? It wasn't like the Ducks were like some amazing team that he's underperforming. Like, no, like the team in front of him kind of sucks. But they're starting to turn things around there in Anaheim. I am a little bit surprised with 2 picks, but I mean, heck, maybe the Red Wings think that there's a little bit more there. Some fans were obviously ticked about that move, apparently. So he's like, what are we doing? Let's see, kind of scrolling up. Joel Hofer signs a 2-year extension worth $6.8 million, 3.4 per year cap hit. I mean, that's not bad for kind of a backup rotational type goalie. Maybe even a guy that could take that role, depending on how things go with Benner. Bennington kind of returned to form. He looked good. So, let's see. Already talked about the Marner deal, which I thought was a great deal for the Knights. I think made sense for the Leafs to kind of move on, though. To be honest with you, it kind of made sense. It's like, all right, we've tried the same thing over and over again. It was time to kind of change things up. Claude Giroux is staying in Ottawa. I'm not really surprised. He's kind of winding down his career. Obviously, the McQueen memes are going to be from the movie Cars, going to be a big thing. So, Matthew Knies signs a 6-year contract worth $7.75 million. So, with Matthew Knies, I'll say this. With Matthew Knies, he is a good player, had a great year. You better hope, though, he stays at that same production and even increases it. I mean, with the cap going up, makes it more reasonable. But that would be my only concern. I actually really do like the player, though. I do like Matthew Knies. I like what he brings forth. A little bit of physicality. He's got some skill. I mean, shit, I think any fan would love to have him on his team, but my only concern would be giving him that much term where he hasn't proven to be a consistent offensive guy. But, I mean, to be fair, very young NHL career. I mean, can you hold that against them? They're kind of paying on promise here, but with the cap going up, I mean, $7.75 million, maybe a little bit rich, but I don't know. I'd be interested to know your thoughts on that, because for me, it's a balancing act of paying for potential, but also paying for proven production. I mean, shoot, let's just pull up his stats here. Matthew Knies. This is like kind of a live stream, but I'm recording this anyway, so it is what it is. Scrolling all the way down. I mean, really? Only 2 years at the NHL level. 35 points in his first season. 58 in his second. You're really hoping he just stays at that same level and keeps improving, actually. That's what you would really want. Like, that would be the home run. That would be my only concern. 2 years only at the NHL level. Does he kind of taper off? Leafs don't think so, obviously. Nick Hague signing a 4-year, $5.5 million extension in Nashville. Hague's a good quality bottom pairing, maybe second pairing, depending on who his battery mate is. So I think that's a good move there for Nashville. Boston, they did end up signing Michael DiPietro. Here's the trio of signings for Boston. Joki Haru, 3 years for a $3 million AAV. Then you have Johnny Beecher, 1 year at $900,000. This is the one I'm kind of interested on. I think when it comes to the Boston Bruins, I think Johnny Beecher has more there. I do like his speed. I don't think he's really been given a full opportunity. This is just my opinion, I do think he could be okay in a third line role with the Bruins. Because I do think there's other things there. I don't think he just has to play center. I think you could put him on the wing. I mean, with Fraser Minton that you have. I think you could get more from Johnny Beecher. Am I saying he's going to be a superstar? No. Am I saying he's going to even be an all-star? No. I'm just saying I think he could be a quality bottom six guy. I just, for whatever reason, really hasn't had the full opportunity to do that. And then Michael DiPietro, this is the big one to me, and this is the guy that I'd like to see the Bruins move Korpisalo, or I don't even care, move Swayman if they got an actual huge return for him. But I do think Michael DiPietro is a guy that could be a difference maker for the Bruins. I like what I saw. He was a highly touted prospect with Vancouver, and then they destroyed his development. So DiPietro to me is a dark horse here. I wouldn't be shocked if they try to move Korpisalo, because Korpisalo seemed a little bit grumpy with how things kind of panned out. But I like DiPietro overall, and I think he could be NHL caliber right now. He was fantastic in the NHL last year, and that doesn't always equate to being successful at the NHL level. But I'm a Providence Bruins season ticket holder. I think he has it, personally. I think he could be very successful at the NHL level. Noah Phillip signed a 1-year deal, 2-way contract. This is the trade how the Nashville Predators acquired from Nicholas Hague from the Vegas Golden Knights. Nick Hague, and 2027 third-round pick is what Nashville receives. In Sissons and Lausanne is what Vegas receives. I mean, that's a downgrade. I'm not very high on Lausanne defensively, but Sissons, I mean, he's a nice guy that can be, third line guy for you. Now we'll talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. I'm sorry, Jesus, Paul, can't even. Yeah, the Vegas Golden Knights and that big old red Detroit Red Wings. Jesus, the Red Wings have traded Vladimir Tarasenko to the Minnesota Wild in exchange for future considerations. I mean, Tarasenko is not the player that he was. I think, Kaprizov, Tarasenko, getting another Russian in the room. I don't know. It's for future considerations. It's nothing crazy. Essentially, just kind of giving away from a bag of pucks. I think Minnesota just wants to see if there's anything left in the tank there. So, Selly from Utah traded to Toronto for a third-round pick. General Manager Patrick Alvin announced today that the Canucks have agreed to terms with Max Sasson 1-year contract for $775,000. Just kind of depth moves here. So I think that'll be interesting. Romanov, 8 years, $6.25 million. I mean, Romanov's a very good defenseman. Funny, Islanders and Montreal made some moves here before, so I mean that's not bad. Ekblad signing an 8-year, $6.1 million contract. Again, Florida Panthers are just on that path of retaining all of their possible talent. It makes sense. Already talked about Marner to Vegas. Already talked about Brad Marchand going to Florida in my one-off video. Provorov re-signing with Columbus. Lorentz, I mean, he's a good little bottom six guy you can have in Toronto. 3 year, $1.3 million. LA, Kuzmenko, 1 year, 4.3. Kind of a prove-it deal for Kuzmenko. I mean, he's one of these guys that has shown the ability to have a good chance to be a consistent 20-goal scorer. I think, I'm not saying he'll be at the NHL, make it or break it, but he's got to prove it to you. Like, he's got to prove that he can be consistent. I think in LA he'll be, on a very good team and have a chance to really be that guy. And then Provorov is 7 years, $8.5 million. He's a good defenseman. Makes sense. Trade alert here. Cayden Primeau traded to the Carolina Hurricanes for his 7th round pick. Primeau, he played for Northeastern, if I remember correctly. I think it was Northeastern. Primeau is one of these guys that just his potential never got fulfilled. Right? Let me even pop up his kind of statistics here. Cayden Primeau, was it Northeastern? I'm trying to friggin' remember what it was. Yes, it was Northeastern. Yeah, okay. I'm not crazy. I mean, Laval, he had a good year. 26 games played, 1.96 goals against average, and 9.27. But then when it comes up to the NHL, it's just kind of middling. Just not good enough. Great year in Laval. Kind of struggled there in the playoffs, it looks like right there. But he's just never been able to kind of fulfill that potential. I think a new scenery. I mean, Carolina, they've got some goaltenders that are kind of getting up there in age. It makes sense that they would kind of move on from that. Yeah, I mean, kicking the tires on a guy like Cayden Primeau is never a bad thing, especially for a 7th round pick. I mean, the percentage-wise on 7th round draft picks doing anything in the NHL level is like so small. And you get a guy in Primeau who's a very good AHL goaltender. Maybe they could kind of transform things there for him. Big move here. Oilers have signed defenseman Evan Bouchard to a 4-year contract with an annual cap of $10.5 million. Holy shit. God damn. Really? I mean, great young defenseman, don't get me wrong, but we really don't believe in depth here in Edmonton. 25 years old. Last season, 67 points on the back end. Season before that, 82. I mean, the guy puts up a ton of points. He does. And I think he's a very good defenseman, so don't take that wrong way, but it's you're gonna have to pay him. The Oilers are going to have to start getting a little bit creative with some of their roster construction, in my opinion. I mean, it's just, you pay these guys so much money, like, you're going to have to start hitting on the other draft picks and stuff you have in the system. Pietrangelo, kind of him stepping away from the game with how things are going, his health and all that. People were making jokes that he'll be back for the first time in the playoffs this upcoming season. But, I mean, all jokes aside, it's just sad with Pietrangelo. Your body takes this physical toll. Hockey's a tough sport to play, man. And as the years have gone on, we've become more educated. The skating motion in which players skate with, just because it's unnatural to the human body, it's one of the reasons why hockey players do have some of these hip issues. A lot of medical professionals have come out, and there's been studies about that. So I'm hoping the best for him. I'm hoping he just lives a healthy and happy life if he can no longer play. Patrick Kane signed a 1-year deal for $3 million. I mean, it makes sense. Patrick Kane was still an effective player. Might as well bring him back in Detroit. He was good enough for him there. And we're going to kind of keep scrolling up. Oh, Thatcher Demko signs a 3-year deal worth an annual cap hit of $8.5 million. Demko's a great goaltender. Can he stay healthy? Can he stay off the IR? Can he play a full season? That's the biggest question mark. Demko's had some serious injury issues. If it wasn't due to that and he could stay healthy, I think, this is a home run, but biggest thing that hinges on how well this deal ages and pans out is if Demko can stay healthy. It really is. He's a terrific goaltender. He really, when he's healthy, locked in, he's one of the best in the NHL. But the key thing is him being healthy. Makes sense. I mean, you can't just, you have to bring him in. You have to kind of sign him to a deal. But that's the only concern I have there. Connor Garland, 6-year contract worth $6 million. I mean, it's not bad at all for what he gives you. I mean, because Connor Garland, what did he do last year? It's Garland. I like how it goes to like random high schools first. 29 years old. Yeah, I mean, 50-point scorer. He's like a 50, mid-40s goal point producer, excuse me. Yeah, Connor Garland, he's a good player to have. He's a good middle six guy, adds a little bit more depth. So it's not a crazy cap hit, especially with it going up. John Hanley signed him a 2-year extension for annual cap hit of 1.75. It's not bad. Boston, this did happen. Victor Arvidsson deal. Jake Allen signs a 5-year deal worth $1.8 million per year. 5 years? Hold on. Jake Allen. How old is he? Am I crazy? Did I spell you wrong? Oh my god, Paul. No, I just have dial-up apparently. Come on, man. Apparently, what is going on? Why is this so bogged down right now? What the frig? This is so bogged down. But yeah, that's a lot of money for Jake Allen. It's actually kind of an absurd amount of money for Jake Allen. I mean, not money. You know what? I'll wait. I'll go back to this. I don't know. That's the prospects is acting kind of goofy for me. That's a lot of term for him. I think that he's... Screw it. I'll check it on my phone. Jake Allen age. That is a real big term for him. Jake Allen age. How old is he? He's 34. You're signing him until 30. Now that's crazy. All right. Well, I kind of confirmed myself because I'm like Jake Allen's around my age, right? I'm like, that's an interesting move. Bruins in Edmonton discuss Victor Arvidsson deal. So the Bruins traded a 5th in 2027. Arvidsson, nice little player. I mean, I'm not mad at that move. Hold on, I'm going to apologize. Because, yeah, okay. Apologize because the Elite Prospects page just said I go completely chalked on me. So, whatever. But anyways, Arvidsson deal, not bad. People saying, no, we wish Nurse was included in that deal. That's not happened. Canadiens acquire forward Zachary Bolduc from the St. Louis Blues in exchange for Logan Mailloux. Logan is a very good defenseman. Young defenseman. I know there was that whole controversy with him. I'm just saying, as a player on the ice, a very good quality player. But Zachary Bolduc's a hell of a center, right? He's a center, I remember. That's an interesting move. I mean, maybe because they brought in Dobson, they felt like he was kind of more expendable. I like this move for the Canadiens. I do. Yeah, I mean, Bolduc's a great player. That's a nice move. I like that. So, I think I like what the Habs have been doing. Buffalo Sabres acquire a 6th-round pick in exchange for Sam Lafferty, kind of a minor deal. Blackwell stays in Dallas for 2 years, $775 per year. Christian Dvorak, 1-year deal, $5.4 million. Okay, that's not bad. Short term, kind of a prove it thing. Like, all right, see what you can do. Parker Kelly extended to a 4-year deal, $1.75 million. He's a nice little player you have. 1.7 is a solid cap hit. That's not too bad. Brock Besser, 7 years, $7.25 million. Besser can be kind of like a boom or bust type guy. So, 7.25. If he can stay healthy, could be a very solid one. I'm trying to remember how old he is, though. It's because he's had some injury issues. Okay, now it wants to work. Whatever, elite prospects. Apparently now you want to work. So Brock Besser is 28 years old. 7 years, so he'll be 35. I mean, you're having him through the rest of his prime. Last year he had 50 points, 75 games played. He's like a mid-50s, 40 guys. He had that 173-point season and 40 goals. But I think that was just an outlier year. I think he's more around like a 40, upper 40s, mid-50s type point producer. That's just how it's panned out most of his career. Even though with some of these seasons, obviously due to injury, it's more towards the point per game. Can he stay healthy? Yeah, I could see the argument actually kind of looking at it a little bit more deeper. People go, oh, he could be around a 60, 70-plus guy if healthy. But big thing with him is health. That's a lot of term to a guy that's kind of struggled to stay healthy. It's like I like the story. He's been through a lot. So I'm not trying to sound heartless. It's just that's a lot of term to give to a guy you're not really sure can be in the lineup every night. I don't know. We'll see how that ages. William Ekblad, 3 years, $5.6 million. We'll kind of pull up William Ekblad's stats. There we go. Player verified. So, you know, San Jose Sharks, 58 points last year, 45, 40. Like, I mean, 45 before that. I mean, they think they can definitely get a little bit more out of him. I mean, 7th overall pick in 2021. Ekblad, I mean, Jesus. San Jose is going to have a really good friggin' offense here for years to come. I mean, it's kind of crazy how much talent they have now in San Jose. They're going to, if everything can kind of hit, it's going to go well for him. Corey Perry to LA. So the LA Kings are going to be guaranteed to go to the Stanley Cup Finals and lose. That's a good move. Dan Vladar, 2 years, $3.35 million. I kind of agree that's a little bit of an overpay. I'm not going to get into the other comment I see there because it's like that's an old quagmire I'm not going to get into. Vladar's an okay backup, 3.35. That's a little rich. I mean, they are kind of desperate for goaltending in Philly, but that's a little bit of overpay. Gavrikov, 7 years, $7 million per year for the Rangers. I think that's a nice pickup. I like that. I know some people, I don't know, how do you not know who Gavrikov is? Okay, good quality defenseman. I like that for the Rangers. Bring some more talent on the back end. I like that move. That's a lot of term though. Because I like to... Let me make sure I get the damn spelling right. This is one of the biggest problems about me. I'm not Gav. See, I love autofill for that reason. He is 29. So the back end of that deal you could kind of possibly regret. But, I mean, he'll give you some points on the back end. You know, he's no Adam Fox, but he's just a good quality defender to have. So I like that move. Strong pitch for Connor Brown. 4 years, $3 million. I mean, that's okay. Rangers are working on sending Keandre Miller to Carolina. Ooh, that'll be interesting to kind of follow up on. Tanner Janot, 5 years for $3.4 million. And people are obviously sending the big trade for Tampa. Dude, Matthew, there's no way. That's got to be a parody account, right? Okay, all right. I was going to say, like that'd be absolutely toxic. All right. I'm not a big Tanner Janot guy. Janot, whatever the fuck it is. Size, he's got that, jam to the game. He's 28, so 33. I mean, that's not terrible. He shouldn't fall off the wagon, but with physical players, that can happen. I mean, with the cap going up, I guess, I don't know. I'm not big on that deal. I'm just not. I think that's a swing and a miss. Who knows? Watch. He somehow becomes freaking the next Cam Neely. Pizzetta, 2 years, $787,000. In Toronto, Fairhavy re-signed in Washington to a 7-year, $42 million contract. Oh, that's not bad. Good year last year. Ryan Lindgren, 4 years for $4.5 million for Seattle. I mean, Lindgren just showed he was effective with Colorado. He was obviously shown for years he was effective with the New York Rangers. Injury concerns would be the problem with him. Just would. So can his body maintain and keep up with that? We will see. Blues signed Nick Bjugstad to a 2-year deal. $1.75 million per year. I mean, good little depth piece. Islanders signed David Riddick, Red Light Riddick, to a 1-year contract. I mean, that's okay backup. Parker Witherspoon to the Pittsburgh Penguins, 2 years, $1 million per year, I'm assuming. He's an okay third-pairing guy to have. Boston just had a bunch of third-pairing defensemen last year, and I think he got exposed a little bit. Here, Jordan Harris was not qualified. Columbus is headed to Boston. Plays his hockey in Northeastern. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Because he was with, the Canadiens. That's right. Younger guy, 24. You're hoping he can kind of figure it out. We'll see. See how things go there. Could be a nice addition. Could just be another okay quality guy. Kakkonen signing with the Canadiens. Same last. I mean, not bad depth. Tanev to the Utah Mammoth. 3 years, $2.5 million. He's a good depth forward to have in your bottom six. Excel, 1 year. Copeland going back to the Vegas Golden Knights on a 1-year deal, $775,000. Cole Koepke to the Jets. I mean, Koepke, when he's kind of on, he can be a very good guy to have, but he can be a little bit frustrating. This is interesting. What did I scroll up a little bit too much? I did. What the hell? I lost my place. Gertstein, 2 years, $775,000 per year. Two-way contract, looks like. Sean Corrali's coming back to Boston. 2 years, $1.85 million. Jesus Christ, Sweeney. Holy. Oh my God. What are we fucking doing? Whatever. I don't even care at this point. I just go with the youth. Just accept the youth. Just go forth. Whatever. JVR, 1 year, $1 million. Low cap hit. Nate Schmidt, who had a very good year. Go to Utah, 3 years, $3.5 million per year. Good for him. Jeff Petry's going to the Panthers, league minimum in bonuses. Cody Ceci to the Los Angeles Kings, 4 years, $4.5 million. Ceci, he's an effective, okay guy to have in your bottom pairing. Brian Dumoulin, 3 years, $4 million to the LA Kings. So maybe that could potentially see how that goes. Islanders have signed forward Jonathan Drouin to a 2-year contract, 2 years, $4 million. That is interesting. I'm surprised he left. I'm surprised he would leave the Avalanche after they kind of saved that man's career. I mean, with McKinnon and stuff like that, I'm a little bit surprised he left. Maybe I shouldn't be completely. And then Cole Koepke to the Jets. Again, he's very hot and cold, but when he's on, he's on. So, this is my long video, and kind of a rapid fire, going through NHL free agency really quick. I am going to do one-off videos for sure, but I want to kind of get like a quick rapid reaction, and then I'm going to kind of go a little bit more deep analysis And I'm going to try to find a way around the goddamn copyright system that I got bumped. I mean, the other few videos I made didn't get bumped for whatever reason. Mitch Marner told me to get bent. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What you think of these signings? Let me know your thoughts. Scott and Paul, see you in the next one.